Hello and welcome to my vintage audiophile channel. This is now my 22nd video. Today I'm going to be reviewing a piece of audio history from the mid 80s. I believe it came out 86 and 87. It is a Pioneer Elite C-90 Preamp, which has been touted by a lot of people at the time and still to this day one of the best preamps ever made for the audio market. You wouldn't know that it is an Elite unless you know its history, because it is does not say the word Elite on it. This is one of the last models they made before they start putting the Elite name on it on their high-end product. And this one says simply reference control amplifier. But it is definitely Elite in every aspect, made from the finest components inside, and it has a highly polished Urishi black front face with gold accents and rosewood wood sides. That is something that they started back in the mid 80s, and that continued till around the mid 90s before they discontinued it, because it was an option that either people didn't care for anymore or was added too much expense to it. Nonetheless, it is a classic and it looks great. And it has everything under the sun on it you could ever want in a preamp. It is one of the early adopters of the video craze that was starting to happen at that time, that morphed into the current AV equipment that you have today out there. This one has different buttons on it in the video section for the TV tuner, VCR 1, 2, and 3, and also a VDP, which was I guess closest thing you could say to that would be like a Laserdisc player. It has CD, phono, tuner, tape 1 and tape 2 for buttons over here, with a muting, a master volume control, which is made from solid aluminum, and the reason they did that is because it better dampened out isolation from vibrations in the room itself, so that didn't feed back into the signal of the preamp. It does have a drop down drawer down here, revealing a whole bunch of buttons. You've got your standard balance, bass, and treble. Some buttons here or some RCA jacks that you can plug in VCRs or whatever if you'd like to, as far as dubbing from video to video. It does have its own video processing circuitry in here, so these various buttons will change the video quality of the videos that are being processed through it. One thing that this particular unit has, which you don't see very often, if at all, is it has 3 transformers inside. There's a transformer for the left channel, a transformer for the right channel, and also a transformer to do all the video processing and video controls that are part of this amp. It does have a switchable moving magnet or moving coil phono preamp with different settings for the different impedances of your individual cartridges. It has so many things it's hard to explain them all or talk about them all, but I will turn it on here so you can get a kind of a look at what is here. by turning on the master power button, it puts it in standby. There is a smaller button here to take it out of standby, and then you'll start seeing some lights light up that are currently being controlled by some push buttons down here, which are for your tone, high filters, subsonic filters, phono selector. It has a button on here that you can take it out of stereo and put it into mono if you so desire for stuff like that. It also has buttons up here that you can highlight for recording from one source to another. Like I say, it has a lot of different things on it, and the price on these when they were brand new were about $800. 35 years later, they're still going for that price on the used market. Recently checked some of the websites, and the cheapest I was able to find was about $700, ranging all the way up to about $2,000, depending upon condition, who's selling it, and if it is like an includes the original box and stuff like that. I will pause the video momentarily here so I can turn it around and show you what the back looks like. There's so many inputs and outputs on the back that kind of boggles the mind. You almost have to have a really good knowledge of hooking things up or have a manual to figure out everything, but there is quite a bit on the back. You'll also notice that all the screws and stuff are copper. They used copper screws and hardware and chassis, inner chassis to kind of it was a not necessarily just to make it look better, but it also had a function as far as vibrations and conductivity of things. So I will pause it for a moment and turn it around so you can take a look at that, and bear with me, I'll be right back. Sorry for that slight delay. I am back now, and as you can see, there are a lot of controls on the back here. First off, you'll notice, of course, the power cord, and it has three outlets on it for plugging in additional equipment for ease of access. It has, starting over here, phono with the ground, CD, tuner, the video disc player, audio in and video in. VCR1 has audio in, audio out, and video in, video out, and the same with VCR2. And TV tuner is audio in, video in. Adapter has audio in and out, along with video in and out. There is a record monitor, in and out. You can also hook up a RF modulator here with a DIN connection. Then you've got tape 1 and tape 2 in and outs, and output to the accompanying amplifier of your choice. So like I say, there is quite a bit of stuff on the back here, and it also has the standard 1/8" jacks in and out for controllers if you want to be able to control other additional items like tape decks or the like, to be able to play off the remote control, which unfortunately I no longer have for this model because it just wore out. And you can see that they tried to make everything here copper, and some of the lettering and stuff is starting to wear off on the bottom here, from being probably handled by me grabbing it from the bottom when I pick it up. That's my bad, but not much I can do about it right now, except try not to pick up from the bottom anymore. If I had this cover off, you would see that the inside is pretty packed and loaded, like I say, with 3 transformers, plus some really big caps and things like that. Sound quality wise, it's probably one of the best and best spec preamp that you're going to find at a fairly reasonable price, unless you want to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a little higher end, but you're not going to be gaining too much, because this one has some very impressive specs, like a 0.002% total harmonic distortion. It has your standard 20 hertz to 20,000 kilohertz for frequency response. It literally is quiet as a mouse. You can hook this up in your system and have a pair of speakers hooked up and turn the volume up, and you won't hear a thing. It'll be quiet as can be. There's no hiss because there's no distortion. If you're looking for something that's high end and this would definitely fit the bill, you would be very happy with something like this. The next model they came out with was the C91, which looked almost exactly like it. But it was also the first one that had the Elite name put onto it. And up until the late 90s, they produced some of the Elite separates. Nowadays, I believe that they've stopped doing that, and they just have the Elite audio video receivers, which they've put out quite a few of. They started doing that in probably the mid 90s, and they no longer do it this way because probably the sales weren't as profitable for them, because you had to spend, $800,000 or more per item, whereas you could get the same kind of thing for a little cheaper in an all-in-one receiver. And people kind of got out of the separates market. There aren't many manufacturers that make separates anymore, which is a shame, because the more you separate things and put them in their own boxes, the better quality you're usually going to get, because there's no interference from other components that are inside of the all-in-one boxes to interfere. That's kind of why you see a lot of modern ones that have total harmonic distortion of like 0.005 or 0.008%, or excuse me, 0.05 or 0.08, which is, compared to this model, is hundreds of times more distortion than what this model puts out. So if you've got the itch to get some real high quality stuff, I wouldn't hesitate to go this route if you so desired and have the extra money for it. It's not for everybody, like I say. If you're just looking for something, play music, you're probably better off budget-wise to get an all-in-one receiver. But if you want to test the waters and see exactly what separates do for you, as far as sound quality is concerned, this is definitely one of the ones to look for. And who knows, you might get a bargain of a lifetime and get one that blows everybody away and blows everybody out of the water as far as how much you paid for it. But the people who have these and sell these are usually pretty savvy to the fact that they are really good, and it might be a little hard to find a bargain, but you never know. So that is the end of my discussion for today. Hopefully it enlightened you a little bit on this particular model and the concept of separates. There are some purists out there who won't buy anything but separates and are willing to pay whatever price to get that perfect sound, if there is such a thing. Some stuff comes really close to it, but at a very high financial cost. Until next time, thank you for watching my video, and please like my video if you liked what you saw. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any comments that you would like to leave as far as if you liked or disliked what you see, or have something to add to it, or telling me that I'm just completely wrong on what I'm talking about, go right ahead. Just remember to reply to Vintage Audiophile, and I do answer all my comments and messages that I do get from people. So until next time, have a great day, and Vintage Audiophile is signing off for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.